Okay, we're unmuted.
There's been call to order the December 9th, 2025 Board of Supervisors meeting. Prior to this meeting, we held an executive session regarding legal matters. I'd like to start with the silent meditation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of
America.
and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the November 18th, 2025 Board of Supervisors meeting minutes as presented.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the residents? Call for the vote.
Aye.
All right.
Aye. All right, Fire Department and Department of Emergency Services. We have the November Westwood Fire Company Fire Chief's report submitted for board and resident review. The November Westwood Fire Company EMS report submitted for board and resident review. November Modena Fire Company Fire Chief's report submitted for board and resident review. The November Modena Fire Company Fire Chief's report, East Fallowfield calls only, submitted for board and resident review. And our November Modena Fire Company EMS report submitted for board and resident review. Are there any questions? Any questions or comments from the residents? Moving on to a presentation.
So tonight we want to recognize our board chair, Claire McAvoy, for her service to East Fallowfield Township. We have a certificate here. I want to personally thank you. I know your term was brief, but Claire made a meaningful impact here in East Fallowfield Township. So I think we want to thank her for that. Some of the things that came to mind: she helped implement the rules for public participation, ensuring that our meetings are run orderly, efficiently, and that the board and public are respectful to each other. Claire also championed transparency while she was here, encouraging regular project updates so residents stay informed. Claire was especially valuable to me personally, offering really a unique perspective shaped by her professional background. So I want to thank her for working with me. And on behalf of the township, we want to thank Claire for her dedication and commitment to good governance. We're pleased to present her with, I'm hoping we get some pictures here. We have a certificate of service from PSATs right here. I know you're on the Park and Rec Board, so we know you won't go too far from East Fallowfield Township, but we wanted to thank you. Hopefully get a picture with the board.
Yep.
Holding the certificate, and we have.
Just to come down there by the podium, Scott, or do you want to just?
Do you want to go in front of? Do you want to? Dave, want to take some pictures? Yeah. Here, I'll give you my.
Thank you.
You want to stand, everybody?
Yeah, we stand very close. Your panoramic.
There's that right there. Yeah, I'll get it. Should I?
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you very much. You're gonna get in the picture.
That's right. Yeah.
Very trip.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Claire. Merci.
Thank you.
Don't go too far.
All right.
Now I'd like to move out of the township in 5 years.
Just sit down. Thank you very much. This is my last meeting, and I do want to thank everyone. I want to thank the board for the opportunity. I learned a lot, and no experience is a bad experience. It's just it's a learning experience, and I will take what I learned in this position forward in my life, and I appreciate the opportunity. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'm not gonna, I guess we have this on the agenda every time, summary. Applicable board liaison, the only thing that will change in January will be reorganization, where Chairman McAvoy will not be assigned, we'll just have to reorganize at that time. All right, treasurer's report. I make a motion to approve the payment authorizations for the period of November 19th, 2025 through December 19th, 2025, in the total amount of $107,782.21 as presented.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments from the board?
I noticed the Sienna law bill was a little higher than normal. Do we have other legal matters, Mr. Manager?
Most of those were related to right to know requests. Most of the expenses on there.
Can we anticipate the bill to continue into December? I think it got cut off November 12th.
We just got a new bill today. We haven't looked at it yet. That would be for the month of November. So we're still processing that right
Great,
now.
thank you.
Are there any questions or comments from the residents? All right, call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye. All right, moving on to the township manager's report.
Okay, good evening, everyone. First on the agenda is the adoption of the 2026 township budget. I just want to provide a little background here. The township conducted a budget work session on October 14th. I'm just going to highlight the steps that we've taken so far. The first presentation of the budget was on October 28th. Second presentation of the budget was made on November 18th. If you recall, the board approved the advertisement of the budget on November 18th. The budget availability was advertised on November 19th in the daily local newspaper. The proposed budget has been uploaded onto the township website. It's available for review. We've had hard copies available at the township building. I know there's a budget, copies of the budget on that table as well. The posted budget is unchanged since it was advertised. Just some quick highlights here. There's no real estate tax increase proposed in the general fund or fire EMS fund. There's no increase proposed in the trash fund. And as I've said at every meeting, 2026 will be the 8th straight year without an increase in the general fund. So we've kept taxes steady for, again, this will be the 8th straight year in the general fund. The 2026 general fund revenue budget totals $4,503,000. 2026 general fund expenditure budget is $4,503,000. When you remove the $1 million, which we budgeted to be transferred to the municipal building fund next year, the adjusted 2026 budget is $3,503,000. All funds are balanced, which we're required to do for second-class township code. You look at our capital fund, we have an extensive capital improvement program budgeted for next year. It includes many things. Road paving is one of the big ones, bridge reconstruction, and Sawmill Road, the culvert replacement, which is also on the agenda tonight to award that bid. There is a proposed motion in the agenda to adopt the 2026 budget. We provided several opportunities for comment along the way. During all those dates that I mentioned, there's been opportunity for public input. And as always, public comment will be accepted tonight before the budget board takes action on the 2026 budget.
Make a motion to adopt the 2026 budget as advertised.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the residents? Yes, please approach the podium.
Just looking over the line items, the only one I'm interested in currently, 401.110, the manager's salary, this year, $140,400, next year, $144,612. Am I to understand we're giving the manager a raise when he said he can't do his job and he needs to hire a $70,000 assistant? That's what we're doing, we're giving him a raise?
We have not given him a raise yet, but it isn't budgeted that way.
It's been budgeted for a raise, so you're giving a raise to a person who has freely admitted he can't do his job without help.
We budgeted for a raise, yes.
Okay, and there was something else, but I'm currently drawing blank. I apologize. Oh, I sent to all of you a recommendation for the next manager's budget or manager's contract. Did you all read it? You know, Claire did.
Mhm.
I see you're the only one that responded. I was curious if in the new manager's contract, if that is something that will be implemented in the name of transparency and accountability.
So typically in a, haven't negotiated a contract, right? But in a contract negotiation of a professional nature, doing time stamp for everything that the manager does is really not something that, I mean, I'm not gonna be here, but I wouldn't be in favor of it.
Right.
Certainly if the person is not performing at the level that they're supposed to, then you would have a conversation about that. But to require someone to document everything that they were doing from.
I apologize if the letter read that specific.
Yeah,
Like for my job, I'm salaried,
right,
but I did carpentry for 4 hours. I did framing for 4 hours.
sure,
Not, I installed a cabinet and I trimmed it out. You know, that's 2 hours and 2 hours, so on and so
Yeah,
forth. So I didn't mean it to sound as specific as it was,
Right.
but in the name of thoroughness,
sure.
it came across that way.
Appreciate it.
But I don't see it as an unreasonable request in the next contract,
Thank you.
because I'd like for all of us to be able to see where our money's going.
Okay, thanks, Bill. All right, are there any other questions or comments? All right, call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Next on the list, there's a proposed resolution, 2025-19, establishing the property tax rates for 2026. And just some information, millage is unchanged from 2025. 2026 millage will be set at 2 mils for the general fund, 0.5 mils for emergency services, and 1.25 mils for the fire tax. So again, no changes there.
Move that the township approve resolution 2025-19, establishing the township property tax rates for 2026 as follows. 2.00 mils general millage, 0.5 mils emergency services millage, 1.25 mils fire tax millage.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the residents? All right, call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. And next on the list is a resolution authorized to transfer funds from the general fund to the capital fund. It's resolution 2025-20. It'll be $1 million, and this would be to fund capital and future infrastructure projects as highlighted in the budget.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 2025-20, authorizing the transfer of unencumbered monies in the amount of $1 million from the general fund to the capital fund to fund capital and infrastructure projects.
Second. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the residents? All right, call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next on the list, I know we've been talking about this for a while, Sawmill Road. This project went out to bid. I was surprised, we received 9 bids on the project. Contractors were very interested in this one. If you recall, there was a base bid, which was replacement of the culvert pipe, and there was an alternate bid. The alternate bid would be to pave Sawmill Road from Martingale Circle to Mortonville Road. G&B Construction was the low base bid plus alternate bid at $242,309.70. Barrasso Excavation, they were the low bid on just the base bid, which would only be the culvert replacement. That low bid was $150,711. If you recall, the township received $250,000 in grant funding for the project. My recommendation to the board is free to make a different recommendation. There's two low bids here, but my recommendation would be to complete the culvert replacement, which is the base bid, and also pave Sawmill Road, which is the alternate. It has not been paved in a long time, and it would be milled and paved. Again, a board decision, but there is a proposed motion in the board packet, and the construction would happen in the spring.
So make a motion to approve the low bid for the base bid plus the alternate bid submitted by G&B Construction for the Sawmill Road Culvert Replacement Project in the amount of $242,309.70 for the recommendation of traffic planning and design.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments from the board?
That took how many years?
A long time.
Now,
All the professionals did everything quickly. They had to stake out wetlands, utilities.
Bob
and
Turtle
design,
studies.
And get the permits from DEP.
We started
And
with
we
Bob
had 9
Turtle.
bidders, I believe. Which is great.
Are there any other questions or comments from the board? Questions or comments from the residents? Yes, Mr. Nielsen?
Yeah, did I understand that that is for paving all the way from Martingale to South Callan?
The Martingale to Mortonville.
The more.
Mortonville Road, yeah.
Are there any other questions? Yes, Tom.
Neither of these companies are the company that did Mortonville Road and messed it up and had to come back and fix it. Just curious.
No,
Okay, cool.
Good question.
good one.
Hold on.
All right, call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Next on the list, community donation for 2025. There's an item in the budget, which is on, Dave, you know, I think it's on page. Community donation 406.520. The board budgeted for the 25 budget, a donation of $9,000. Township donated last year to the Coatesville Area Library. The donation was $9,000. It's the board's discretion where it wants to direct the funding this year, but with some information that I provided to the board as well, just because historically it's given to the library on some of the work that they've done for the township.
Move the township make a 2025 donation in the amount of $9,000 from the township general fund to the Coatesville Area Public Library.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments from the board?
I made the motion, but I'd be happy if anybody wanted to discuss the dollar amount.
It's consistent, we're good.
They participate a lot in all of our township activities, including donating books. Are there any questions or comments from the residents? Yes.
First, totally support, so that's not the issue. I have a question about if, like, it's $9,000, that's great, I fully support it, it's the library, they're awesome. Is there, I mean, is it a $9,000 check that we hand to the person who manages the library? Or is there like contractual use restrictions to it, or methods to prevent it being misused is essentially what I'm asking. Is there something built into the donation that prevents it from being misused? As an example, at one point in my life, I made a large financial donation to a group, but I didn't actually give them $10,000. I put $10,000 into an account that earned a significant amount of interest, and every year they collected the interest. So the donation was $10,000, but they only were able to collect the interest off of that $10,000 each year. So that money continued to work for them. So I was just curious if there was use restrictions to the $9,000, or is it just a, hey, we're gonna give you a check, do with it what you will?
We ready to check to the library, correct?
Yep, the board has not restricted those funds. They've done that for like People's Hall. We've restricted it, but not for the library.
Okay.
And she provides the library provides a report of all of the items and details about how they use the money.
Okay, yeah, like I said, fully supported. I was just curious if there was any protections. Okay,
All right,
cool, thank you.
All right, are there any other questions or comments from the residents? And call for the vote.
Aye.
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 Great, thank you. Moving along here is referral to the planning commission. Little background here, the Township's Act 537 plan was approved by DEP earlier this year. And if you're on the website, the document is actually on the township, it's on the township website under miscellaneous township documents. It's quite an extensive document, but it's there. There's several requirements of the plan. One of them is a model holding tank ordinance. One of them is a septic management program. I know the Planning Commission has already started reviewing this, which is great. This motion would just formally refer the matter to the Planning Commission for review. Again, it's the model holding tank ordinance. These are requirements of the Act 537 plan, as well as the sewage management program.
So Scott, we don't have the actual ordinance in the document tonight.
No,
This is just directed.
it's just asking the Planning Commission to formally review these two ordinances.
Thank you.
I move that the Board of Supervisors refer to the matter of a model holding tank ordinance and sewage management program as required in the Act 537 plan to the Township's Planning Commission for review and recommendation.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the residents? Oh, yes, Connie?
Could we just get the gist? Is it for making sure the residents have them pumped or have them inspected? There's so many times, so many years. What is it about?
Yeah, so the sewage management program, it would provide inspection and maintenance of all lot disposal systems. And the planning commission would flush that out. That's generally what it is, but the model holding tank ordinance would be procedures for maintenance and use of existing and new holding tanks. So again, it would be maintenance and inspection.
So would residents be required to pay for inspection, or is that covered?
That's what the planning commission is looking at right now.
That hasn't been decided.
Right, that's fine.
Are there any other questions or comments? Yes.
Well, I'm a member of the planning commission. I was just gonna say, it's like the gist of it is, yeah, whether or not there's gonna be inspections or not, which we haven't decided on yet. But it's more the main thing of it. The only thing we really have to do is that within every 3 years, if you have a septic system, you have to have it pumped and cleaned out. And you have to be able to prove that and show that to the township.
The pumping is the focus, the inspection is secondary.
Yeah,
Okay, and then testing. would
it
be-
depends I mean, there's a lot of different wording, different townships do it differently, but yeah, that's what we're looking into right now.
Because I know there's different pumping, inspection, and then testing.
Yeah,
There's 3 different levels there. Okay,
Inspection doesn't necessarily mean full inspection, like you hire someone to inspect. It could be just a visual inspection of the situation while it's pumping it. So
my guy has a check off box on that
Yeah,
receipt.
so inspection is getting hashed out, as well as the timeline that will be determined on like number of people, size of the unit, what kind of unit, blah, blah, blah.
Very cool.
Thank you. Call for the vote.
Aye.
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 Thank you. The next one, this one's pretty quick, but the township is in the process of negotiating a new collective bargaining agreement with Teamsters, which represents our road crew. This agreement allows for public works staff to continue to get their health insurance. That would be for 60 days past the expiration of the agreement. The expiration of the agreement is December 31st. So to make sure our staff continue to receive benefits while we're negotiating that agreement.
Make a motion to approve an interim health and welfare fund agreement between the Teamsters Health and Welfare Fund and East Fallowfield Township.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the residents? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And then last on the list is this federal surplus property program. We're required to update this agreement periodically. It's for federal surplus property. We're obviously, thinking of a new township building, so we want to be in this program in case we want to be eligible for surplus. And this application would just keep us eligible with no cost to the township.
I make a motion authorizing the township manager to submit an application application for the federal surplus property program.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments from the board?
Yeah, can you, Scott, can you extrapolate
Excuse
more?
me,
Sorry.
from the board.
Oh, got excited there.
Thank you.
Do you know something we don't know?
That's what I'm gonna find out.
Yeah. Any questions or comments from the board?
So Scott, thank you, Claire. Is this like furniture or what is it? What consists of the surplus?
Furniture, computers.
Yeah.
Those are probably the big ticket items right there.
Any other questions from the board? Questions or comments from the residents?
So that will make us eligible to receive surplus items, so
Yes.
it'll lower our costs.
Yep.
Okay, great,
Yes.
that's awesome.
Any other
Receive,
questions? Oh, sorry.
Or purchase. Sorry.
Could be purchased. Sometimes they give the stuff away,
Okay.
one or the other.
there it is.
I got furniture.
Any other questions or comments from the residents? All right, call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye. Is there any new business, Scott?
I don't have anything else. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're moving on to legal. Discussing consideration for implementation of a brake retarder ordinance.
Can you give a background on that?
Sure.
All right, I can give some background.
Why don't you do that and then I'll.
All right. So the township, we requested a brake retarder study from PennDOT last summer. There was a complaint from a resident. And it was about brake retarder specifically on Route 82 in Strasburg. We went to PennDOT, they completed their study. We heard back from them. I think it was last week. They determined that brake retarder restrictions are warranted on Doe Run Road. So it was on Route 82 and that was between Crest Place and Buck Run Road. They also determined that brake retarder restrictions are not warranted on Strasburg Road, which is SR, I think it's SR 3062. It's up to the board. We have the chief here tonight who could probably answer some questions on this. There's some PennDOT guidance that we put in the board's packet. The board wants to enact brake retarder prohibitions. The next step would be an ordinance. But it would be permissible on Doe Run Road between that Crest Place and Buck Run Road.
So if we were to implement the ordinance, signage would go up and then our local police would be charged with enforcement.
Township would be responsible for signage and enforcement, and that would not.
And that's not involved anymore.
Correct.
Yep, and our next step would be, you'd be voting tonight just to authorize the ordinance itself. The advertising of the ordinance, it would then come back. And the board as well as the public would then have the ability to discuss it for a further vote.
Question. Jake brakes were designed for safety. You got 80,000-pound vehicles rolling around here, coming up out of the mill, concrete trucks. This is designed to use the engine to brake these vehicles. So what's the rationale for banning Jake brakes? Now, I shouldn't say this, but again, they were designed to stop these heavy vehicles, to make them safe. So I would imagine there's a resident that hears this loud truck with straight pipes blasting through the neighborhood at night, but that's another issue. That's noise.
Yeah, I'm not an expert on this. I mean, it was a request that came through a resident, and the state rep had actually reached out to us as well. I think it's a question for the board, and I think we can certainly look into getting more information.
Wasn't it originated because of the Weaver Falls trucks on Strasburg though? Some of the complaints?
There's a lot,
Do you remember? I'm not sure if it was that specific.
I mean, obviously the asphalt plant's right there and with steel mill and obviously Weavers or.
I mean, there's definitely
coming
trucks
through.
that roll through there.
Scott, did PennDOT actually like issue a letter saying this is why we think it's a good idea?
They just approved it. They did their study.
We basically, did we ask them to look at the whole township or we asked them to zoom in on this?
Doe Run Road in Strasburg
Okay,
in particular.
and they decided just go run for a specific stretch. I know we're not acting on I know we have a draft language of the ordinance if we were to advertise. There is something in here about acknowledging emergency situations. But I guess if it was adopted, it would be at the law enforcement's discretion with the operator of the vehicle to determine if there's a citation warranted or whether he was obviously using it for its intended purpose. So there's some latitude there, but it'd be up to the people in the street.
I think so. It'll be a question for
That fair,
chief, but I believe so.
That's accurate.
We don't have to vote tonight, we can table it.
Right.
Right, yeah.
Chief, have you dealt with these ordinances or brake retarder restrictions previously?
I have read through since it's become an interest, and to Dr. Lambert's point, I believe the grade on Strasburg Road is the reason why I was denied to not be able to use it on Strasburg Road because of the grade of the hill there. And that's why I believe it was approved on Go Run Road, because the grade of the road does not reach the threshold, according to PennDOT's study, that they could use it. And we could restrict it on 82 where we can't restrict it on Strasburg. And I believe that their study is done to determine the grades of the road, and that's how they determine whether or not you can or cannot restrict it.
If there's no objection, I'd like to make a motion. Make a motion to advertise the draft ordinance amending chapter 15 motor vehicles and traffic, establishing a prohibition of brake retarders on a portion of Doe Run Road.
Do we have a second? Motion fails.
Okay.
Does that, can I ask about, does that mean we're not gonna consider this in the future then, correct? The issues.
I think if residents want to reach out, I mean, if they want to email.
We've made a decision not to move forward, so it's resolved.
Yeah, I think if residents want to reach out, if they have continued concerns about it,
Okay.
they should certainly contact us.
Yes, Kevin.
I wasn't the person who made the complaint, but I do live at the intersection of 82 and Strasburg, and there's a difference between straight pipes and Jake brakes. Jake brakes they don't account for safe driving either. So I appreciate that a study was done, but I can tell you that while I want safety over anything, it's loud and you hear it all the time.
The Jake brake was designed to slow trucks down when they were going out west across the mountains. But
I'm aware.
But if you take a heavy duty truck and you take the mufflers off and you then put straight pipes on and you hit that Jake brake, it will rumble your house. But that is another issue. So it's designed for safety. It's designed to slow them down. But if someone is taking off the mufflers, that's why I said that's another issue. That's an inspection thing. That's noise pollution.
But if PennDOT did a study to show where it was an appropriate place to do it, they're the experts on this.
According to PennDOT, it would be an appropriate place because you would never use your Jake brake because it's flat. But you will not hear trucks, you will not hear them, that if they are original equipment manufactured and you hit a Jake brake, it's just, you don't hear much of anything. But you will definitely hear a truck that has 5-inch or 8-inch straight pipe.
So what would the harm in passing the ordinance be if it wouldn't affect anybody that it wouldn't affect already?
Because they're designed for safety to slow big trucks down. We have many heavy trucks running through our neighborhoods.
We can revisit it.
So
Yes.
Thank you for not making me limp up there. Long before Scott started, even now, my father lives on what I will call Buck Run Mountain. Biggest, longest hill, it's the steepest. That road is the truck route, so the trucks go down scenic 82. They use their engine brake to come down that hill. And back when he first moved in, he and his neighbor, who also had recently moved in, wanted this ordinance. And I guess he asked and no one ever replied, again, long before Scott. And He probably didn't even know you could get a study done. He and his neighbor went halfsies on a sign and put it up themselves. The neighbor volunteered his property because it's when you're coming down and his property is on the right. Assumably, the township removed it, who knows, maybe PennDOT removed it. In a very short period of time, like in less than a month. So I know when he gets wind of this, he's gonna wanna have them do a study and also have them consider putting a sign there too, because it's a very long, very steep hill. Way more than what goes past Dean's house, although I can understand why Dean wants it done. Will the township consider other studies? Or can they consider the truck route somewhere where they might make it a, you know, a straight stretch all the way from top to bottom, beginning to end?
Yeah, I think we need more information on this and we can certainly revisit it. I don't think we have enough at this point.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Moving on, the collective bargaining agreement, next on the legal agenda. The collective bargaining agreement, has not been finalized yet. My understanding, Scott, you can correct me, is that the association has not had the opportunity to give its final, review and approval. So our recommendation would be that it be tabled, at this point, so that they have the opportunity to provide their, further review. And finalized review, I should say.
so do we?
Just
Make a
need to
motion.
to table, yeah.
All right, so, all right, no, that's okay. I make a motion, to table the approval of the 2025-2027 police collective bargaining agreement as presented until, we have more information.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the residents? Yes,
Yeah, John Nielsen. So the collective bargaining agreement for the police department was over at the end of this year, or it's?
Yeah, that it expired. So the collective bargaining agreement expired at the end of 2024. We have an approved memorandum of understanding that was approved earlier this summer. So the collective bargaining agreement is just a formal document that incorporates the memorandum of understanding into it. It formalizes that MOU. But we have a formal MOU. We're waiting for the formal.
I guess my
Collective
question
CBA.
is, why are we waiting so long to negotiate or to start the collective bargaining process?
Oh, the process is complete with the police. This is just the formal document, collective bargaining agreement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the negotiation has been ongoing since December. This is the finalized process, the finalized contract. The association hasn't had the opportunity to review the finalized contract and say, yes, this is what we agreed to throughout the negotiations over the last year.
all right, call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Next on the legal agenda is the police association grievance that was filed. That has, there was a hearing on that earlier, and is the board determined a resolution or a decision on that?
Yes. I make a motion denying the grievance submitted by the police association dated November 3rd, 2025. Are
Second.
there any questions or comments from the board? Are there any questions or comments from the residents? Yes,
What is the agreement?
The grievance has to do with the application of the use of light duty status of a police officer pursuant to the terms of the collective bargaining agreement.
are there any other questions? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
No,
Aye.
Passes.
Passes 3.
Okay. And then the last thing on the legal agenda is the considering the implementation of the Act 72 volunteer EMS tax credit ordinance. As you know, the volunteer EMS and fire tax credit ordinance would allow for volunteer firefighters as well as volunteer EMS personnel to obtain a credit on the property tax, township's property taxes pursuant to the criteria based in the ordinance listed on their participation for volunteer service through the fire company or the EMS squad. This has been something that the township has been working with both Westwood and Modena Fire Companies on over the past several months. The holdup on moving forward is that the county also recently implemented a tax credit program for volunteer fire companies and EMS squads countywide. And they developed a series of criteria that is used in order to but in order to determine the level of credit for the participation that the firefighters and EMS personnel get, and how that's then credited to the tax base and bill for the county. The fire companies requested that we hold off on the township's ordinance to make sure that both of the criteria were the same, so that they would only have to run one set of numbers and keep track of one set of numbers in order for bookkeeping ease, which makes total sense. So the county has formalized theirs. That information has been translated into the township's ordinance, and it's ready to go for consideration by the board.
Make a motion to direct the township solicitor to prepare a draft ordinance to enact a tax rebate, earned income taxes and property tax relief for volunteer members of the fire companies, Modena Fire Company and Westwood Fire Company, and to advertise the ordinance for consideration at the January 27th, 2026 Board of Supervisors meeting.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board?
I think it'll be a good thing to support our public servants, right?
Any questions or comments from the residents?
One thing I wanted to point out, Claire,
Yes.
The eligibility period for this, I think I copied you on that email. The way this is written is 2025. So that would be the eligibility period. If we pass this in 2026, we would actually be going back to 2025. I think it's a board decision whether we want to go back a year.
It's something that we'll need to look at further, but I don't know that we'll be able to do that because the ordinance also indicates that application would have needed to have been filed with the township by April 1st. And I don't, obviously that didn't happen because the ordinance hasn't been passed. So we can, since the motion indicates to prepare a draft and advertise, we'll make sure that if it needs to be adjusted, we'll adjust it before we advertise it and move forward, but we'll have it ready for the January 27th meeting.
Put an amendment to it.
To the ordinance, if we just need to change the date from the 25th to the 26th before it's advertised, yes.
Any other questions from the board?
This question.
Yes.
It's just for clarification, because again, it's another thing that I definitely fully support, and whatever maximum amount they can get, I'm great with. If I understood it's to prevent, like, again, fraud. You said it would be like a tier system, like, oh, you put in 200 hours this year, you're not eligible because you have to put in at least 250, or is that what I understood you to say, that there's a minimum requirements in order to be even eligible?
Yes.
So it's not like everybody in the township can sign up to be in the EMS and then not do anything.
No, that's
They did talk about that.
Yes, it does.
Okay, that was, like I said, it was just clarification, yeah, awesome. I like it.
So they have a point system, not to belabor the point, but just to answer your question. they've determined criteria for a point system. And you get, 2 points for every fire call, 2 points for every drill, 2 points for meetings, trainings, et cetera. And then, basically the tax credit is then determined based upon the number of points. And you need to meet, certain threshold points to get the, 25% off, 50% off, 75%, up to 100% of either the, property tax or the earned income tax.
All right, any other questions?
Connie, hopefully it's a quick one. He obviously mentioned Chester this county is driving the truck, and of course, having the township, matching in some way. And then this mentions property tax, which is actually through the school district. Are all three going to be affected?
The property tax for the schools are not. The school districts have not bought into this program. And I will say as of yet, because I don't know if they will eventually. But right now, the tax rebate that is offered for purposes of the county is the property tax rebate, and then the earned income tax or the township's property tax are the only eligible taxes that are available to first responders.
So somebody who rents has a chance at getting some kind of a reward.
Yes, because it's the earned income tax. Yes, exactly.
Thanks.
So the way that it would work at the end of 26, they would have already paid their taxes and they would get a check sometime in 27.
Yes. And you have to pay your taxes and then they pay you back. Yeah.
All right,
And this was a yearly thing, correct, to come up with the renew it every year?
No, once the ordinance is passed, it's good to go, but the volunteers have to, the clock starts again every year, and then the township through Scott and the fire company will recertify each year the credit based upon the information that's provided by the fire company and then given to the tax authorities.
So it has to be recertified.
all right, call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye. All right,
I
thank you.
believe that covers ours.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you.
planning commission, no report was submitted, for the police department. The November police report was submitted for board and resident review. As far as approving new policies for the police department,
Can I go back for a second,
yes.
Chair? Madam
Yes.
Chair? On the planning commission, when was the last time we had a report? Jerry, do you know? I haven't,
Never.
never,
Last
are
time.
we gonna get one, or
Dennis was the last one to file a report.
that's a long time ago? Is there any way someone can bring us some information on what's
I did.
occurring?
Ray is chairman of the planning commission. I can say something to him. We have a meeting Monday, right?
You could even do it with the minutes of the meeting would probably suffice.
Yeah, I would like to know what what progress is being made, or what's the planning in the future is, or is it?
Well, for right now, the only thing we're really discussing is the Act 537 with the subject.
And we're waiting on the comp plan.
Yeah, the comp
Yeah,
plan we're
that's-
waiting on, yeah.
We're just kind of waiting on that to start.
Yes,
Okay.
to your point, I think the minutes was suffices, so.
Yeah, someone can bring us,
Minutes taken care of.
thank you. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I was wondering about that.
Just on the approving of policies for the police department.
I make a motion to approve the following new policy for the police department selection.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the residents?
What is
Yeah.
that? I don't understand. What does selection mean?
It is, like the guidelines and parameters for hiring officers.
Oh.
And it's not a completely new one, it's a revised one of one that already existed.
All for the vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Public Works Department, the November Road Department report was submitted for board and resident review. The Historical Commission, report was submitted. For Park and Recreation Board, no report was submitted.
Oh, I have a question. Are we
Yes.
having, when is the Christmas, where's Terry? There she is.
We're not having the tree lighting this
Oh,
year.
no, what happened? I must have missed that email.
Yeah, it was emailed. We, unfortunately didn't get in touch with the school, quickly enough and they weren't able to,
Respond?
yes,
Oh,
or participate.
okay.
So we'll be on top of it for next year.
You can stop her Snoopy on top of the, can you light it, put some lights on it?
It'll be up there.
Okay, put some lights on it so you can see it.
All right, is there any old business? Any new business? All right, we're moving on to public participation. Please remember to approach the podium. 3 minutes to make your comments or have questions. Please state your name and your address if you would be so much.
Yeah.
And
Good evening, Kevin DiGirolamo, 2650 Strasburg Road. Claire, congratulations on your term.
thank you.
It's a nice thing to hang up. So I wanted to follow up with the board on 2 things and ask a question of a third. One thing I'd like to follow up on is the recordings of the commissions posted on YouTube. I did bring that up at the last meeting and I was wondering if there was a status update. To quote one of your future board members, I think it would help keep things official. And would be helpful for residents to be able to review. I know we're not able to make every meeting all the time. So I think it'd be great to give us the opportunity to not just look through the minutes, but also to watch the videos. Any updates?
There is no update.
Is there a way to get that onto the agenda?
So don't we have for like next year, we're working on communications, right?
Yeah, the board will,
Right.
the board will meet and I'm sure discuss that, those
Some
goals
money-
for next
some
year.
Money aside for that.
Yeah, that will be discussed, probably in January, the goals for 2027.
Are there specific volunteer meetings you want recorded or you want all of them?
All of them. I want to
Planning
have,
Commission, Historical Commission, Park and Rec.
I would just like to have access to view things that I'm not able to.
EAC, they said before.
Yeah, that'd be great.
If it happened, there'd be 4 possible.
Okay, so 4 of them,
Yeah,
yeah.
types, yeah.
And then I guess that kind of answers my second question was, what is the update on the potential to have digital participation in the new year? I've noticed other townships are able to participate via Zoom. And as somebody again who works in Philadelphia and doesn't always make it to this timeframe, I think that'd be really beneficial to have the access available to residents.
We can discuss that as part of our, January.
Okay,
In regards to the way their meetings are shared.
and the third one is, I don't know how to start this process, but I would love to see or propose a pedestrian crossing sign and crosswalk at the corner of Strasburg Road and Doe Run. Knowing that we have a new school going in, that 70s uses the easement for parking for their,
That's part of the project.
it is part of the project. Well, that's great to hear because I'm actually lucky to be here. On November 24th at approximately 7:03 a.m., I was hit by a Ford pickup truck crossing that intersection. I'm just happy to be standing here, but I will say that I have yet to hear from East Fallowfield Police on their follow-up, which is a little disheartening. And that was it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, just to be clear, there is crosswalks being proposed as part of the school project. When they will be installed, I don't know.
And the reason I say it is I'm hit as a pedestrian.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Like, they're not doing a traffic study for the school, are they?
The volume doesn't require it.
I'm Sandra Simmons, and I reside at 1513 Westchester Road, in East Fallowfield Township. And East Fallowfield has an easement that runs from Cardinal Drive to Westchester Road. Going through my property to get to Westchester Road. And a large galvanized pipe, I think it's a storm water management pipe, is covered. That pipe rust out and the water has begun to erode the soil on my property. The sinkholes seem to be getting bigger and bigger. I called the landscaper to look at it. And the landscaper said that I should contact the township because they don't want to dismantle the township pipes. I just need to know if it's the township responsibility to fix it, then I want the township to fix it. If it's not the township responsibility to fix it, then let me know that and give me the,
So real quick,
a permission to be able to fix it.
have you contacted Scott or the office at all about this?
This has been going on for
Yeah.
2 years. I've contacted the
So-
township.
I apologize for the delay. We met with our solicitor. He was not able to find an easement on the property. That was one of the issues, that the drainage pipe is on private property. We couldn't find any plans, easements, or agreements or any legal documents that would give us any rights to that pipe. I don't know if you have a copy of an easement. Again, we couldn't find it on our end. So
Okay,
we view it as a private property issue.
okay, that seems to be inconsistent because when the township extended that pipe to go across to the farm, and the township actually did that. So if you extended the pipe, you must have acknowledged that it was your pipe.
You can go ahead.
Okay. All right, so I spoke, yeah, all right, I spoke, okay, so our solicitor, I did talk with the solicitor about that. If you have a document that says that there's a township easement there, I'd like to see it, because again, we did a search and we couldn't find an easement.
Okay,
I don't know why someone from the township would have extended the pipe to the street. But according to our solicitor, any work by the township does not create any obligations on the township for any other stretches of the pipe. I mean, this pipe is on your property unless you have anything to show us that there's a township easement. It's a private property matter.
so then the pipe, I can close it off. And if I close it off, the people from Cardinal Drive, coming from Cardinal Drive, going to Westchester Road won't be able to. They're,
Is there drainage going through there also?
yeah, that drainage.
The other house?
Yep, it's going from Cardinal Drive all the way to Westchester Road. My house is
Okay.
in the
Did
center.
you get my message that I left you earlier? I left you a voicemail.
No, I didn't.
You didn't get it? I don't know if I have I know I've called you before. I don't know if I have the right number for you.
Okay.
I can
mean,
talk to
was
you after
expecting
this.
To hear from you when I met on October 28th. You said I'll
Okay.
research it and get.
You didn't get my
back to you.
voicemail?
I didn't get anything.
Okay,
from
can I
you.
check your phone number after this, make sure I have the right number?
Okay, all right. I don't want to take up a lot
Okay.
of time, but I do want a resolution to this.
Well, I think what we've heard is the township has done their legal review and can't find an easement, correct?
Correct.
So unless you have one,
I have my deed, which indicates that there's an easement running through. But
did you provide that to Scott and the legal team to review?
I
No,
run,
I think that, I'm sorry to interrupt, you.
Okay.
Excuse me. There may be and we'll work back up with you on it, but we're not saying that there's not an easement on your property running from Cardinal Drive to the other. What we're saying is that there is no easement between the township on your property to allow for that, is what we're saying. We can take a look at it again, and I'll speak to Mr. Crotty to see if there is, because it's pretty easy for us to do, to just take a look and see if there is an easement on there between somebody else. That may be, and I'm not giving you legal advice on this, but I certainly wouldn't suggest you go closing up a pipe without talking to somebody upstream. But the township may have nothing to do with that, is what we're trying to say. That's
all right, I just want to know.
well, yeah, we gotta get it, you gotta get it fixed, and we recognize that and understand that.
Okay.
We'll try to get it resolved from our point of view, to at least give you some guidance to say, hey, the township's out of it at this point, you do what you gotta do with your neighbors up back.
Okay, that's what I need. I just
Okay.
need some guidance. If it's my responsibility, I don't have any problem fixing it.
Sure,
If it's the township, I want you to do something because the hole's getting bigger.
and we should, absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much. I
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank
taking
you
very
very
much of your time.
Can you hang around after the meeting, Ms. Simmons, just so I can get your phone number too?
Okay, sure.
Sure, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Philip, East Battlefield Township. I have a statement and then two questions. It occurs to me that this board has seemed to feel that there are a few residents, myself included, that are just trying to be difficult or maliciously disruptive. Speaking for myself, I assure you that it's not the case. What is happening is there are some of us that are doing our civic duty by holding the board members' feet to the fire. Many of us are angry, and rightfully so. In the last year, we have witnessed a board of supervisors that has dismissed resident concerns, voted against the will of the people, lacked accountability and transparency, as well as encouraged through complacency, unethical and criminal behavior amongst its own ranks. Maybe if we weren't given reasons to be legitimately angry, some of us wouldn't have to be so aggressive in enforcing your accountability. That's just my general statement, my two questions. Individually, what ordinances have you personally proposed to be created, modified, or eliminated in the last month? There's 5 of you, 5 answers.
None.
Done.
You know, what you see comes before the agenda.
Okay. And then individually in last month, what ideas have you proposed or implemented in an effort to lower the tax burden on our residents? Okay. Sound is deafening.
Thank you, Philip.
Oh.
Hi.
I know the survey ended about a week ago for the bag ban. Have we tallied things up and do we have any decisions?
It's on the January agenda,
Okay.
the survey results. I would say.
I'll provide it.
Nobody else? I have a second question. Did you guys receive the Historic Commission's recommendations that I guess will come through Rob about that one property?
Yes,
We did that.
yes.
Okay, so you're chewing that up and spitting it out?
It was referred to our zoning officer.
Okay, he hasn't given you more to work with?
I know he was out there, but I haven't spoken to him today.
Okay.
Is there any other public comment? Make a motion to adjourn?
Like,
All in favor?
all right.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
7:37 PM.